Welcome everyone, my name is Ian Yarwood and I'm bringing you this video from the safety of Perth in Western Australia. Today, the primary reason for bringing you this video is to simply share a letter that I received in the mail today from Zaw Lin. Zaw Lin is one of two young men who were framed for the murders of the British backpackers Hannah Witheridge and David Miller, who were found bludgeoned to death on the Thai island of Koh Tao, also known as Death Island, back on the 15th of September 2014. Here's an image of the two young scapegoats. This was taken shortly after they were arrested and charged, and below that image is their current address in Bangkok Central Prison, also known as the Bangkok Hilton. One of the reasons I'm showing you this letter is to perhaps encourage some of you to write to the two young men, just with news either of soccer, which they're both interested in, news of events on Koh Tao. As many of you would be well aware, there has been an absolute string of deaths, murders and unsolved deaths on the island since 2014, and that's the sort of thing that they take great interest in. But they also take a lot of interest in the lives of people outside of Thailand, just to give them some distraction from the boredom of prison life. Okay, right now I'll just turn to the letter from Zaw Lin. And here it is. It was dated the 16th of October 2018, and it reads, "Dear Ian Yarwood, I just want to let you know that I got your postcard which you sent to me dated the 25th of September 2018. I'm always happy to hear from you. I'm highly appreciated for all you're helped. Please help me as much as you can to get out of this hell. I promise never to forget you and your compassionate love towards me. The Embassy and the FED," now FED is simply an acronym for the Foundation for Education and Development, which is a Burmese or Myanmar NGO. So he writes, "The Embassy and the FED always trying for me. They visited me recently and I am excited and was very pleased over that. They said that they will visit me often. I send you my very best wishes. Most sincerely yours, Zaw Lin." Now there's always some developments in relation to Koh Tao. It was interesting that a few weeks ago the New York Times wrote a piece. The article itself was interesting from the point of view that it was coming from an American media outlet. There's been a lot of coverage within the British press and of course the Thai press, and the Australian media has covered events on Koh Tao very well. But it's interesting that the US media is taking a greater interest. I also learned in the last 24 hours that a foreign correspondent for the British newspaper known as the Telegraph, and her name is Nicola Smith, and this is a picture of her here, that Nicola and her article on Koh Tao that was written earlier this year and published has been nominated. It's one of 3 nominees for a Foreign Press Association award in the travel and tourism category. I'll put a link to that article as well. So there's always something happening that the two young men can be told about. They've been told about the death of Bernd Grotsch, who was a German businessman who was found dead in his bungalow in Koh Tao back on the 17th of June 2018. And of course they were well aware of an execution in their own prison on the 18th of June 2018. The inmate who was put to death actually had been in the cell right next to Zaw Lin. And there was a letter that Zaw Lin wrote 1 week after that execution, and it was sent to a lady who'd been supporting him for some time. And in that letter, he really highlighted the fear that went through the prison population, especially, of course, amongst the death row prisoners. Later in June that year, of course, there was a 19-year-old girl from Britain who was drugged and raped and robbed on Koh Tao. And news of all of these murders, of course, highlights to the rest of the world that Koh Tao does have a significant problem with violent crime against foreigners, of course, including tourists, and that the police and the locals go to tremendous effort to cover up that crime. Of course, there's other news as well, such as the viral success of the famous video by Rap Against Dictatorship and their song Pratet Gu Mi. So there's plenty of news that the young men would be interested to receive. They do get some news inside prison, but obviously if there's news coming in from a number of different sources, it can fill in some of the gaps for them. Well, that's it for now. If you can send them a letter or a postcard, that would be, I'm sure, very greatly appreciated by them. And I'd also ask you to do me a small favour, which is if you could press like for this video and perhaps share it with some of your friends and online followers. And if you could just keep following the events surrounding Koh Tao, that would be great. Well, thank you very much for watching until the end, and have a great day.